And if you are one of those who maybe have made or has made making money your New Year's resolution, or you're looking forward to making money and managing your money properly this year, then this edition of the program is for you. It is a new year, and the past year, of course, was dealt with, high inflation, high standard of living, and all of that required lots of money spending. But now we are in the new year, and there's a lot of conversation around making money and managing your money. And joining me now to discuss how we can foster financial literacy in the year 2024 is Martins Oluyomi. He is a financial services consultant. Thank you for joining us on the program.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Let us begin with the basics, especially for the benefit of our viewers who may not, understand the concept of financial literacy. Can you explain what this term means, in layman terms at least, for, like I said, the benefit of our viewers?
Okay. Financial literacy, as you said, I'm just going to say it in such a way that any average Joe can understand. Financial literacy is about understanding the basics of personal finance, budgeting, savings, and how to maximize your net worth generally as an individual or as a business and all that stuff. So financial literacy is actually a very holistic concept, in the sense that it doesn't just have to do with budgeting. It also affects a whole lot of aspects of our everyday financial life, in the sense of even the way we plan for our retirement, the way we plan for our everyday living, the way we plan our expenses, and also, let's take note, financial inclusion is also involved in this, especially for those who are underbanked in our society and all that stuff. If they are financially savvy, they will be able to annex the opportunities that the financial industry actually, can provide them. So that's it in a nutshell.
Well, let's go back a little bit, because I personally believe that before you can even start to be financially literate, you must at least have some sort of money, some sort of investment and the likes. So going into the new year, for the benefit of those who are wondering how they can make money, individuals, businesses, anyone out there, is there a trusted and tested way of making, I should say, quick money, quick investment, with low risk? What is your thought? What are your thoughts on how they can go about this?
Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is correct a notion that you just made right now, that financial literacy, you must have money, right, to want about financial literacy or benefit from financial literacy.
So you don't necessarily have to have money to plan around your money.
Let me quickly correct that notion, right? Because as human beings, and we belong to an economic ecosystem, right? Even whatever the social strata we belong to, whether middle class, upper class, or lower class, or whatever, and we do not have adequate financial resources, right? Our knowledge of financial literacy will also guide us in how to annex the opportunities inherent around us. That I must make very, very clear first, right, before I continue. Now, when you're talking about time-tested, quick fix, and all that stuff, I'll be very sincere with you. When it comes to making money, there's nothing like a quick fix, right? There's nothing like a quick fix. You need to do your research. You need to be adequately knowledgeable about the venture you want to go into and all that stuff. And what I always tell people is that they should try and ensure that whatever they are going into, they have the skills, you understand, to annex the opportunities inherent in those area or in the venture they want to go into. Let me give you an example. We live in a youth-based society, Africa and Nigeria in particular, in which approximately about 60% of the population is made up of youths and all that. And there's this trend right now going everywhere, passive income, make money online and all that stuff. There are so many opportunities to actually make money online, but it must not be void of developing adequate skills to be able to harness the opportunities inherent. Some have gone into forex trading, some have gone into drop shipping, some have gone into affiliate marketing, which is actually making a whole lot of money for a whole lot of people. Some have YouTube channels that they are using to generate money and all that stuff. So the opportunities, the ecosystem of making money right now have moved away from the brick and mortar methodology that we were used to, some years back, to an economy in which the financial ecosystem has become globalized, it has become digitalized, and it has become a situation in which you can be anywhere in the world and still be doing business and still be making money. Payment systems have changed. You can have a transaction with somebody in India and get your money almost instantly in Africa. You can supply goods to anybody in the world. Amazon is there. They have, for instance, if you write a book, they have what they call prints on demand. So you're an African author, you can actually publish your book in America or in Canada and get it delivered to the buyer. So the financial ecosystem has metamorphosed over time, and the way we do business right now, has changed. Especially with the 2024, particularly, is what I will call the year of the AI, artificial intelligence. A lot of people are annexing various opportunities with artificial intelligence to actually make money. They are using artificial intelligence, ChatGPT, and so many other alternatives of ChatGPT to proofread materials for people, to write short stories, to do research and all that stuff. So we live in a very, very technologically driven world, and the more we learn and develop the skills to annex those opportunities, the more we would have money in our pockets.
Well, out of all you said, one thing stuck out for me, and that is the trend of passive income. It's not uncommon to hear people have, different sources of income. But on the other hand, we have this group of people who would say that that businesses or running a business is not they don't have any flair for running businesses and maybe have zero interest in running businesses and would rather stick with the traditional 9-to-5 jobs. I'm not saying that is wrong. However, I want for you to, shed more light on that. Running a business or having a business, like I said, is it only for a certain group of people, or can any and everyone be business owners?
Now, let me put it this way, right? I've been on the two sides of the divide, right? I've been in paid employment for quite a number of years, and I've been in consulting for quite a number of years as well. Cumulatively, I've been in banking and financial services consulting for over 2 decades right now, about 23 years and all that stuff. So I understand what it is to run a business and what it is to, be a paid employee. Now, being a paid employee is a safe haven. What do I mean by a safe haven? There's this slang, let me put it that way. For the interest of our international viewers, I will not say it in the traditional words, but I'll try and interpret it in English. It's the saying goes like this: whether my boss makes money or he does not make money, the wages of the laborer must always be paid. Now, as an employee, whether your boss makes money or not, even if he declares a loss, he still has to pay you because he has engaged you for a service. If it seems that the business is not profitable anymore, at the end of the day, they shut down, it affects you, and you go back home. And if you don't get a job, you have to create one. Now, let me quickly say this. Paid employment is not going to last you forever. So I always advise people that while in paid employment, a lot of people say it's difficult to combine the two. While in paid employment, start ruminating on things you can do. Don't wait until you leave the sector you are employed in before you start considering opportunities inherent around you that you have skills for. Start building a network, start building the sources you need and all that stuff. So that is very, very important to do. Now, being an entrepreneur is actually a very daunting task, right? But you must understand one thing, and that is the fact, right? At a point or the other, if you want to be financially comfortable, right, you must always consider having a business, because paid employment is like a drug that has an expiry date, right? But if you are running your own business, you are the only one that can retire yourself and say, okay, I am now 70, I'm now 75. I have enough money to last me for the next 15 years. So I can actually go off to the Seychelles Island or Bahamas and spend the rest of my 15 years enjoying myself. After all, I've trained all my kids and all that stuff. So it's time to just have fun and rewind. You understand? That's the way I look at it. So at one point or the other, you would need to go into paid employment you would need to go into entrepreneurship, whether on the passive level or the active level. Let me give you an example. Even those who are not financially savvy and have invested in real estate, for instance, and they can actually, depending on the magnitude of their real estate investment, with little or no serious effort, they can actually end up still making passive income from the rental income, right? Depending on whether it's residential investment or is a commercial property you have. So you do not really need, that much effort compared to somebody who is probably running a transport company after retirement, and he has to actually monitor the day-to-day activity of the business to ensure that, it's running up and running. And there are so many other things, but the issue for me is, before you go into anything, look inwards first. Number one, what are the skills level, right, that you need? Number two, what is your source of capital? If you don't have capital, that does not mean that you cannot go into business. There are lots of ventures that you can go into that you need little or nothing to start for. Or you can actually structure deals in such a way that you are not using your own money, you are using other people's pay, OPP as they call it. You are using other people's money. So it just has to do with what you are interested in and getting creative about it. What are the entry level? What are the risks involved? Have you done your risk analysis into what you want to venture into? There are lots of factors that you have to consider. So I won't want to say that being an entrepreneur is not meant for everybody. It is an eventual reality that all of us have to face at one point or the other in our career. And the sooner we prepare for it, the better for us.
Okay, let's talk a bit on inflation. And inflation can be said to be a hedge against... let's talk a bit on investment, I beg your pardon, which can be said to be a hedge against inflation. I'd like for you to maybe state, three survival means or three investment opportunities, low-risk investment opportunities that Nigerians can, try out in the year 2024.
See, I don't like being, as somebody in the academics, I don't, academia rather, I don't like being generic. I like being specific. I can give you ideas of things you can consider, but the most important thing that I kept on mentioning throughout this interview is the fact that you must first look inwards, right? Because something is trending does not mean you must go into it.
So by looking inwards, you mean the value they bring to the table?
Does not mean... Pardon?
I said by looking inwards, you mean the value they have within themselves, the value they can provide.
That is the first thing you must consider before you just go with the bandwagon because things are trending. I don't like going with the bandwagon because things are trending. I like looking inwards first. What is the value? What are the values I can give in that particular venture I want to go into? and what are my skills level. And if I don't have the skill level for what I want to go into and I'm interested in that particular venture, am I willing to learn? There are so many opportunities right now. As I said earlier, the ecosystem of how to make money has actually, metamorphosed over time. We are not in an era of brick and mortar in which we do buying and selling, even though we do buying and selling, yes, but we do buying and selling in a more sophisticated way. Let me give you an example. The other day, I went to one of these e-commerce locations, right, to drop some materials. And you'll be very, very surprised what people order online, right? They order things like as simple as yogurts, as simple as milk, what they can buy from the grocery store, but they actually go online to purchase them. Now, those selling those groceries, right, online, they don't need to have the overhead cost of having a shop, right? They can actually be averting tax as well, right? If they are not presenting their books to government. Do you understand? Which they shouldn't, and I won't advise anybody to do that in the first place. But I'm just telling you, you need to look at what you have skills for, what you are willing to have to acquire skills on before you jump in and say, these are the trending things that you want to make money from. There are some things that are age-long, whether you like it or not, they will still sell. Whatever the economy is, whatever the inflation is, it will still sell.
Well, things in the words of our guests, you don't have to follow
things like telecommunication.
You don't have to follow the bandwagon. All you have to do is, provide value, which will definitely sell. Thank you, Martins Oluyomi, who is a financial services consultant. Thank you for your insight on this morning's edition of Business Daily.
Thank you so much.
And this is where we wrap up today's edition of the program. Do also join us again, same time, same station next week, as this is the final edition of the program for the week. My name is Chiamaka Enendu. Thank you for watching.